best way to start with sustainability at your event is to just take small pieces throughout the entire event and see how you can start to effectively create change. So one great tip that I noticed here at the facility itself is that out in the foyer are very clearly marked trash bins for different types of trash. So they had biodegradable, there was plastic only, there was aluminum. It's important to make sure that when you're addressing recycling at a facility at your event, that you're doing it in a manner that people can really read and understand and know where they should put their trash. So here I am, I don't speak Spanish, I've come into a facility that may only have items listed in Spanish, but they didn't. Their signage was very clear. It listed everything in Spanish and everything in English. And so then therefore you get better attendee engagement and participation in some of your sustainability programs. So that, I think, is one great tip. Another tip that is something that I think can become very widespread is that because Wi-Fi now has become really robust, even in some of the more developing type countries. I spent several weeks in Nicaragua and had clear Wi-Fi the whole time I was there, right? Is that we don't need to be printing anymore. We can really move away from all printed items and attendee handouts and really start to engage better with different event apps. That there's a cost offset there that actually works out really well. There's ways to engage sponsorships for your event app. There's ways to engage your exhibitors on a show floor to create different challenges and contests in an event app. There's a lot you can do. I even attended a conference that one of the things inside the event app was that if you took pictures of all the different implementations of sustainability, that you scored points. And then at the end, they had a prize for the person that had found the most sustainable options that had been implemented at the event. And so there's a lot of ways to get creative with an event app that can be really useful. Another place is signage. Start to think about and be really purposeful with your signage. I try to really examine, do I need a sign here? Do I not need it here? What is going to be on it? How can it possibly be communicated in a different way? Is there a digital option instead? With the LED boards that we have through our AV vendors now, the price points have come way down. The accessibility to them is much better. The programming we can use for them has simplified. All of these pieces start to help us develop a better option when we're looking at our on-site event signage. And then the other thing is on some level, we're still going to have some waste that comes with event signage. And so start looking for a partner that you can take your vinyl type banners, that you can donate those to them. And then next year at IBTM, all of the signage that you kept from going into the trash, create a bag or a giveaway or create your lanyards, something like that out of the 2019 year signage, because now you've upcycled it into a product that you're going to use at your 2020 event. And so there's interesting ways to start to think about that as you move forward. Food and beverage is like an endless list of tips that we could all think about. I think the biggest thing is really looking at your food waste. We in general just serve way too much food, and then we always have extra food ready to go. I think my biggest takeaway is really embrace and have conversations with your chefs and your venues, and ask them to help you control portion size. Just shrink down the portion size of everything. If you take the piece of beef in the US, it's 6 ounces or so. I don't know what that translates necessarily to here, I apologize. But if you take that down to a 3 or 4 ounce serving size, you're reducing the amount of food you're putting out and ultimately wasting. And your attendee is still at the same satisfaction level from a nutrient standpoint. So I think those are probably some of my quick, easy tips that you can start to implement.